pull that up. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Our April 13th, 2026 meeting is now called to order. We will proceed with invocation and then the Pledge of Allegiance. Will we all stand for the prayer and pledge? Let us pray. Oh, dear God, we thank you for another day, another opportunity, another chance to be grateful for the many blessings that you have allowed us. And I pray on this day, God, that we would take a moment to be grateful, to be thankful for things that maybe we've overlooked, some of the smaller blessings, but that we would appreciate those again. Thank you for looking on us and blessing us as a community. Thank you for growth and opportunity, just to do some great things in our city. Bless each and every one of the council members, and not only them, but department heads and all city employees, that we will continue to move the city forward in the way that it should be moved forward. I ask that you will bless the events that we have coming forward, from farmers market to jazz and R&B festival to so many other things that we've got going on in the summer. Pray that those events will be handled well. We ask these and many other blessings in your son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in reciting the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. Please take a moment and silence your cell phones during the meeting. The City Council encourages public participation. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. However, this time limit may be reduced if there are numerous speakers on a particular item. To ensure efficient proceedings, all persons addressing the City Council shall state their name and shall speak in a civil and courteous manner. Speakers shall address the agenda topic only to which they are speaking on, and shall not be repetitive. Members of the audience, please respect the rights of others and do not create noise or other disturbances so as to disrupt or disturb persons who are addressing the City Council, council members who are speaking, or otherwise impede the orderly conduct of the meeting. Again, thank you as always for adhering to those instructions. Next, we're going to move to the reading and approval of our minutes from our March 23rd meeting.
Mayor, make a motion that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of March 23rd, 2026, and that they be adopted as recorded if there be no corrections.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to dispense with the reading of the minutes and to adopt them as they have been recorded. Any comments or questions about this particular motion? All right, seeing none. Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, the motion carries. We've got several items on the agenda that we're going to address before we really get to the business part, if I could say it like that. But the first recognition is a special recognition, and it's, I think, Mr. Newton. How you pronounce the first name? Kaladi. All right, Kaladi Newton, Natchitoches Wrestling Organization, USA Club Wrestling State Champion. All right, in the 225 weight class, 14U division. All right, I think we have Mr. Kaladi here and maybe some of his relatives. We also have his coach in the back standing. Is that your daughter? Yeah? Okay, you got your daughter. He brought his daughter with him. Okay, awesome. So I don't know if there's anything that, Coach, you want to say, or somebody wants to say something about what we have here, recognizing Mr. Kaladi? Oh, yeah, come on.
She might speak too.
Hello, I'm Rudolph Glass. I'm Kaladi's coach. I'm the coach at St. Mary's Wrestling. Met Kaladi about 3 years ago. I put a Facebook post out. I was starting a USA Club team for the community, so kids could come in and learn how to wrestle and the basic fundamentals. Kaladi, he was, I want to say 11 or 12 when he first started. He had to wrestle with the older guys, and his sparring partner for the past few years was John Paul Thibodeau. He two-time state finalist. So he's been wrestling some of the best kids that Natchitoches has to offer. And this year was his first year wrestling and competing. And he did a real great job. He works hard. He comes to practice every day. He works in his off time. He has a great personality, very down to earth and respectable, and he has a lot more in store with wrestling. He's a great wrestler. He also plays football, but yeah, he's good.
Great.
Very good kid.
Well, thank you, Mr. Rudolph Glass. Also, Chief Lieutenant, is that right? No? What's his title with us?
Detective Lieutenant, Violent Crimes.
Detective Lieutenant Glass, all right? So outside of that, doing some work in the community. This just, Brother Kaladi, this just says Natchitoches Wrestling Organization, or the City of Natchitoches recognizes Kaladi Newton, Natchitoches Wrestling Organization, USA Club champion for the weight class 14U, and for your 14U division, I should say. So we just want to honor you and just let you know that your city, we recognize what you're doing, and want to encourage you to continue to do what you're doing and develop it, because I know Coach Glass, Detective Glass, have told you that there are probably some scholarship opportunities down the road if you continue to improve and get better at this craft. So we want to have you come forward. Y'all give them another hand. Have you come forward. We want to present
And I think it's great that we have you doing this, and we need more young men getting involved and doing some things actively and positive. So, very proud of you.
Would you like to say something, Mr. Newton? You have to.
He gonna come take a picture with you.
Yeah, he'll sit here with you.
Get in there, Coach.
Yeah, Coach.
Take a picture.
You take a picture on his phone.
One more. Making that picture look good.
All righty. Now, next, we've got a recognition that we do every month, and this is to recognize our Employee of the Month from the Community Development Department, but specifically from the Event Center, and that's going to be Miss Mary Morrow, and we just want to, I think we've already shared it on Facebook. We've already shared it on Facebook, so again, just like to recognize some of the great work that our people who work for the city are doing, and Miss Mary, of course, you've seen at the Event Center if you've had an event, or you've gone up there at any time, okay? All right, we've got a few proclamations that we want to do. April seems to be pretty heavy on proclamations, but it's all great things. The first proclamation is going to be read by Councilman Harrington.
This is Proclamation 17 of 2026. This is a proclamation declaring April 2026 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in the city of Natchitoches. And whereas National Child Abuse Prevention Month is an annual opportunity to raise awareness about issues surrounding child abuse and neglect and engage community members in the ongoing effort to keep children safe. And whereas CASA is one of a group of national child abuse prevention partner organizations selected by the Children's Bureau to serve as partners in the National Child Abuse Prevention Initiative. And whereas the work of CASA and volunteers is crucial to preventing child abuse and ensuring that children live in a safe and permanent environments where they can thrive. And whereas studies have indicated that children with a CASA volunteer are less likely to languish in long-term foster care, more likely to receive needed services, and less likely to re-enter the foster care system. And whereas child abuse prevention requires partnerships among federal, state, and local governments, faith-based and community-based organizations, schools, law enforcement, social service agencies, parents. And whereas during National Child Abuse Prevention Month and throughout the year, I encourage all citizens of Natchitoches to find ways to cherish our children, strengthen our families, work together to eliminate child abuse and neglect, and strive toward a shared dream in which every child is safe and happy. Now therefore, I, Ronnie Williams Jr., Mayor, and the Natchitoches City Council do hereby proclaim April 26 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Natchitoches and call upon all citizens to increase their participation in our efforts to prevent child abuse, which in turn will strengthen our community in which we live. I move to adopt Proclamation 17 of 2026.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adopt this proclamation. I think we have a couple of representatives here from CASA. Would you like to share with us some other details about the work y'all do? Great work y'all do in our community.
Thank you. I'm Emily Dahl. I am the Director for CASA of Central Louisiana, and I want to thank the Mayor and the City Council for recognizing April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Your support helps bring awareness to an issue that affects communities everywhere, including our own. Child abuse is not something that only happens somewhere else. It happens here, and it takes all of us working together to recognize it, speak up, and be part of the solution. At CASA of Central Louisiana, we advocate every day for children who need a voice. We also invite our community to get involved. For a $25 donation, you can receive a pinwheel garden to display at your home, a visible symbol of hope, and a reminder that every child deserves a safe and happy childhood. Each garden also includes a sign to help spread that message throughout the community. Together, we can raise awareness, inspire action, and help create a safer future for our children. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Dahl, for being here tonight. This is one that we do every year. And again, happy to partner with CASA, not only in the ways we do, but any other ways that we could partner to help to, prevent, keep children safe, prevent child abuse, and also to keep children safe in not only the city, but the parish. So again, thank you all for the work that y'all do. Council, I don't know if y'all have anything to say about it, but we'll.
Did you mention a phone number to contact?
I can mention that. Let me come back. So we have an office here in Natchitoches. It's at 1200 Kaiser Avenue, and our phone number is 318-238-2446, or you can go on our website at casanat.org. Thank you. And I would like to mention Mr. Collins. He got his pinwheel order today for the police department, and we appreciate him every year he does this. So thank you for the support.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
I
ma'am.
usually get mine, just haven't gotten them yet. So I said, I usually get mine, I just haven't gotten them yet, but I know, yeah. I love them.
All right. Any comments or questions about the proclamation? Okay. Seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Pettit.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Mr. All, both of y'all, if y'all want to come, quick picture.
I didn't know we had that in here. Those pinwheels are nice. I said I didn't know we had that. I need to.
All righty. Our next proclamation is to honor this month as Fair Housing Month. Really, the next two, I don't think we have anybody necessarily to receive them, but these are things that we do recognize for the month of April, and Councilwoman Washington Eli is going to read the one with the fair housing.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 018 of 2026, a proclamation declaring April 2026 as the Fair Housing Month of the City of Natchitoches. Whereas the 58th anniversary of the Natchez Fair Housing Law, Title 8 of the Civil Rights of 1968, during the month of April is occasion for Americans individually, collectively, to redirect themselves to principles, freedom from housing discrimination, whereas the law guarantees that each citizen or that cruelty, critical, I'm talking about cruelty, eliminate the freedom of choice selecting in the home, whereas the fair housing law has been passed by the state of Louisiana. Implement of law required for positive commitment, involvement, and support of each citizen, and whereas the Department of Agriculture agency and the state of Louisiana are providing leadership to enforce making fair housing not just for idea, but it's an idol of the citizen. And now therefore that the Mayor Ronald Juniors of Natchez, Louisiana, Natchez City Council hereby proclamation month of April 2026 a Fair Housing Month in the city of Natchez. And I move to adopt resolution number 18.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. This is one of those proclamations, as the next one that comes from us, to us. I think it's this Office of Community Development from the state. And this proclamation does what it says, that, our city will, not only acknowledge, but, we recognize that the need for fair housing and things like that, to not discriminate against people for housing. So any comments or questions about this particular proclamation? Like I said, we don't have anybody necessarily here to receive it, but one of those things that we acknowledge. All right, seeing no comments or questions, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Pettit.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. All right, next, we've got the next proclamation being read by Councilman Pettit.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 019 of 2026, a proclamation declaring the month of April 2026 as National Community Development Week in the city of Natchitoches. Whereas the Community Development Block Grant Program has operated since 1974 to provide local governments with the resources required to primarily meet the needs of low and moderate income persons. Whereas the Community Development Block Grant Program is among the few remaining federal programs available to address the needs of low and moderate income persons in small cities. Whereas the Community Development Block Grant Program has provided the state of Louisiana with important and flexible assistance to meet the needs of low and moderate income residents of small cities by funding sewer, water, and street projects, economic development projects, clearance and demolition, and make a difference projects. Whereas Congress and the nation acknowledge the critical value of the Community Development Block Grant Program and the significant projects that rely on its funds for support. May I also move to adopt resolution number 019.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded to adopt this resolution, really recognizing the Community Development Block Grant Program, as we've been calling CDBG. And, throughout the years, the city has received CDBG funding. I don't know which one we have going on. Do we have a current CDBG project going on now? But that demolition. The demolition one, yeah, it's one of them. We've done, I want to say the most recent street project we did was a CDBG. So the city has been blessed to, receive these funds. We're not an entitlement city, which means, we don't have a population over, I want to say 50,000. That means we have to apply for this type of funding. So we don't just get it, we apply for it. And we've had some people who help us to write those grants and win those grants. But they allow us to do some infrastructure-related projects and some other things like that. So really, really a good program, one that we hope sticks around for some time. And you see there sewer, water, and it says street improvements as well. Economic development projects make a difference, and we probably apply for all of these. Not saying that we got all of them before, but I know we probably apply for all of these, so. But really good. Any other comments or questions here? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Petrie.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. All right, the next proclamation is read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor.
Dale, before you get started, correction, that's Wednesday, April the 22nd, not Monday, just for the record. And the title?
Oh,
And the time. Proclamation
Okay.
title.
See it? Okay.
yeah, gotcha. Resolution number 20 of 2026, proclamation declaring Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026, as Earth Day in the city of Natchitoches. Whereas the city of Natchitoches is committed to protecting and preserving its natural resources and recognizes the important role its citizens play in this endeavor. And whereas this year's theme for Earth Day 2026 is Our Power, Our Plant, emphasizes the collective ability of individuals, communities, and organizations to drive environmental progress, highlighting that meaningful change comes from persistent public action rather than relying solely on policy or government initiatives. It serves as a rallying call to defend environmental safeguards, promote clean energy, and strengthen community resilience. And whereas Earth Day is a time to come together with the rest of the world's citizens to celebrate the efforts of young and old alike who strive to improve the environment, not only for the benefits of today, but also for generations to come. And whereas Earth Day reminds all of us to be good stewards of Natchitoches' precious natural resources. And whereas by using our natural resources wisely, we help build a stronger economy and a healthier future for all. And whereas on Earth Day and every day, Natchitoches citizens are encouraged to preserve our natural resources by participating in efforts to reduce consumption and waste, encourage recycling, utilize renewable resources, eliminate pollution, and conserve water, land, and energy. And furthermore, let it be known that the City of Natchitoches, Louisiana hereby encourages its residents, businesses, and institutions to use Earth Day to celebrate the earth and commit to being good stewards of Natchitoches air, land, and water resources to create sustainable, healthy communities. Now therefore be it resolved, the City of Natchitoches, Louisiana hereby pledges Earth Day, Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026, to support global initiatives in the City of Natchitoches and to encourage others to undertake similar actions. Therefore, I, Ronnie Williams, Jr., Mayor of the City of Natchitoches, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026, as Earth Day in the City of Natchitoches and strongly encourage all citizens to join the global initiative by participating in events, signing petitions, volunteering, and spreading awareness. Let's protect our planet and reinforce that environmental progress is achievable when people unite for a common cause. And I move to adopt resolution number 20 of 2026.
A second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Just to say that right in the Earth Day is right in the middle of Love the Boot Week. I'm sure there'll be some type of flyer at the end when we do announcements. But Love the Boot Week starts this Saturday, April 18th, and it goes through the 26th. And this year, what they're doing, and I say they, the Lieutenant Governor Nungesser, it's under his office, and Love the Boot Week celebrates America's 250th birthday, which is, of course, going to be this year on July 4th. So they're already kind of doing it to celebrate that. So, and they're just saying things like pick up 250 pieces of litter in celebration of America's birthday. So, trying to encourage people to do that, which I think is really important. You want people to not litter, but that's something that is very hard to enforce. So I think these statewide efforts and initiatives are important, but so they didn't just pick Love the Boot Week coincidentally. Happens to fall where Earth Day is, which is great to make sure we have these initiatives going in a community-type fashion. Any other comments or questions about this proclamation? All right, and we'll talk specifically later on about what cleanups are happening in the city of Natchitoches. Earth Day, Love the Boot Week type of thing. Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. One last proclamation that we added, and to deal with it, I'm going to ask that we'll have a motion to amend the agenda to add resolution number 24.
Mayor, it's on. I make a motion to amend the agenda to add resolution number 024.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any comments or questions about this?
No.
All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, and this, thank you, Council, for that. This particular proclamation is going to be handled by our Councilwoman at Large Smith Kirkendall.
Thank you, Mayor. This is proclamation, resolution number 024, 2026, which is a proclamation declaring April 12th through the 18th, 2026 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services, and whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. Whereas the safety of our officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Natchitoches Emergency Communication Centers. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information and ensuring their safety. And whereas public safety telecommunicators of the Natchitoches Police Department have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year. Now therefore, be it resolved that the City of Natchitoches declares the week of April 12th through the 18th, 2026, to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Natchitoches, in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our city and citizens safe. Therefore, be it resolved, I, Ronnie Williams, Jr., Mayor, and the Natchitoches City Council hereby proclaim the week of April 12th through 18th, 2026 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the City of Natchitoches. And I move for adoption of resolution number 024, 2026.
I second.
Motion made and seconded. Those telecommunicators, we have two here today with us. They are the unseen heroes of, both fire and our police department. They're the folks who get those disturbing calls, those calls about people in danger, hurt seriously, not breathing, all kind of things. So it's, you can only imagine the trauma they hear and have to deal with and have to be professionals to then relay that to the folks that have to respond and should respond. So they do great work. I think that this is fitting, but certainly so much more than even this proclamation that we're doing. But I want to allow Chief Collins and really Chief Wynn too, either one of them can say something about what telecommunicators really mean.
Well, first, I'd like to recognize the telecommunicators that are in the crowd. We have our communications supervisor, Daquan Johnson. She's been with our department for 17 years. She took on the role as the supervisor in 2023 and has done a phenomenal job. We have also Ms. Brenda Henderson. She's been with our department since 1980. She's got 46 years experience. She's held the role of supervisor as well. And behind them, there's the divisional commander, Captain Billy Mezier. I would be remiss to not point out the fact that most of the calls we handle are initiated by our telecommunicators. They are our lifeline. When our officers go out on a call, they're the ones who we're reaching back to provide information to them so that they can check the records, make sure the people we're dealing with are either safe. They're required to have certifications to help people walk them through medical complaints or medical issues. And you know, a lot of time people are calling law enforcement and for a fire reason in the most traumatic times, and they're wanting to hear a voice that's welcoming, supportive, and empathetic. But we take for granted that our communicators also don't have the luxury of knowing when to bring that temperature back down when it's a situation. If they hear shots fired call or someone's not breathing, they know officers get out and they're not answering the radio. That's a lot of tremendous, I guess you could say, anxiety that they have to deal with. And we get the advantage of seeing it and going, okay, it's okay now. So we are very dependent upon our telecommunicators. We appreciate everything they do and the fact that they are often discounted. They're that unseen hero that you say, because they make things happen in Natchitoches, and how they respond to those calls benefit how we can actually handle the call as law enforcement.
And I'll just say, I said two, but we have three, because Captain Mezier, like you said. So I said two.
See him back there.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Chief Wynn.
They're that voice in the night that you don't see, that voice that you don't see. They're comforting. They're the first people that everybody in the parish talks to when we have an emergency. They're the ones that they can set the tone for the instant, and they're just a great asset that everybody forgets that they're the actual first responder in the instant. So they're the ones that hear the initial call, the initial everything. So we appreciate all that they do for us. They handle. Not only do they handle they don't only just handle the citizen or the complaint coming in, they also handle the first responders, and we get on the radio and we're yelling back at them too. So they're handling both sides. They're handling both sides. So they make calls for us. They call when we ask for the gas company, when we ask for ambulance, when we ask for any type of outside assistance. They're listening and monitoring that radio to make sure that we're taken care of. So they're taking care of us. They're taking care of everybody. So we appreciate everything that they do, and kudos, and we can't thank you enough for what you do.
Thank you.
Right. Any other comments or questions about this proclamation?
I would just add that the 911 center is a blessing for us to have. It's a facility that is state-of-the-art, and in an emergency situation, that building continues on. It has backup. It can resist wind, the rain, whatever you throw at it. It's going to be there, and they just kind of sort of hunker down and take care of everybody in the city and the parish.
I would like to add, yes, often, because like if there's a storm, ice storm, hurricane, the men and women at the NatCom, they actually have stayed at the facility so that they can continue to provide those services, because often they are that island in that storm. Yes.
I think we got a motion in a second, right? All right, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
I'm going to
Okey-doke.
ask him to come up and receive this since they're here.
Come get y'all, Ms. Johnson,
Ms. Brenda,
Captain
Captain
Mezier,
is here,
Ms. Henderson,
and
Chief
Chief.
Collins, Chief Wynn.
Good job. It's impressive.
Probably got too much sound. It's probably too much sound. They do it. They do a 12-hour shift.
Again, thanks to all of our telecommunicators, and certainly they're just a couple to three individuals, but there are others who answer those calls in the middle of distress. All right, we've got a planning and zoning matter next, and Councilman Nielsen is handling it for us.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 12 of 2026, an ordinance amending ordinance number 64 of 2001 by changing zoning classification of property described as follows: to rezone the following lot containing 1.560 acres, having a front on College Avenue of 567.87 feet, and a front of 44.77 feet along University Parkway as shown on plat by Reggie Lewis, date November 7, 2000, and the physical address is 3600 University Parkway. You can see on the screen, it's the site of the new fire station, whereas the Planning Commission of the City of Natchitoches, State of Louisiana, has recommended at their meeting of March 7, 2026, that the application of the City of Natchitoches to rezone the property described above from R2 to R1 residential for the development of a new fire station be approved. And this is for introduction.
All right, yeah, when this project started, I know Chantrell brought up that we needed to rezone it. So Chantrell, is there anything you'd like to say about this particular
No, sir.
ordinance?
Just to say that this is more or less a formality, making sure that we stay in line with our zoning ordinances. Fire station is not a use by right in R2. So that's why we're rezoning it to R1. That's the current zoning for fire station. So we decided to downzone it to R1.
What's that, R2? You said R2 by what?
It's not a use by right in R2, meaning that it's not a permitted right to be used or developed in an R2 zone property or piece of land. But when in an R1, which is the least or the most restrictive type of zoning, that's where a fire station will be allowed by a permitted use by right.
Okay. R1 is your residential.
R1 and R2 are both residential. It's just that each one has a different set of classifications and use by right.
Okay. Any questions, council, about this?
No, I'm sorry, what we said, this is going to be R what now, 2?
It's gonna-
R1, okay.
Okey dokey. And it's going to be presented to you for a vote in a couple of weeks. So if there's a question that you have, please reach out to us and do it. But as she said, it's really just a formality. All right, we've got our next ordinance that's for introduction, and it's read by Councilwoman at-large Smith Kirkendall.
Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance number 011 of 2026, an ordinance adopting the budget for the City of Natchitoches for the fiscal year June 1, 2026 through May 31, 2027. Whereas the fiscal year of the City of Natchitoches is from June 1 through May 31 of each year, and whereas a budget has been prepared by the Finance Director, Clarissa Brown Smith, and has been submitted by the Mayor, Ronnie Williams Jr., to the City Council for review and consideration. Now therefore be it ordained that the Natchez City Council does hereby adopt the budget for the fiscal year June 1, 2026 through May 31, 2027. The City of Natchez 2026 to 27 fiscal year budget, General Fund, $23,892. Proprietary Fund, which is a utility, $44,433,98. Special and Capital Project Funds, $44,980,588. Be it further ordained in accordance with LRS, Louisiana Revised Statute 39-1305, the following specifies the mayor's authority to make budgetary amendments without approval of the governing authority, as well as those powers reserved solely to the governing authority. The Home Rule Charter of the City of Natchez states in part, at any time during the fiscal year, the mayor may transfer part or all of any unencumbered appropriation balance among programs within a department, office, or agency. Upon written request by the mayor, the council may by ordinance transfer part or all of any unencumbered appropriation balance from one department, office, or agency to another. This is section 5.05D. Supplemental emergency and reductions of appropriations must be submitted to the council for approval by ordinance, section 5.05A. And this is for introduction.
Yeah, Council, Clarissa just gave you some binders. She could speak about that. Also, she went ahead and plugged in the numbers for the citizens' budget. We typically present this at the budget hearing, but yeah, and you're going to have it tonight. So it just gives you the numbers, the percentages. You can imagine that these may shift from year to year. Just kind of let you know where we are on some things, revenue versus expenses and all of that. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Clarissa?
Yes, so thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Councilwoman at Large stated, the figures for each classification or each fund, our total budget for fiscal year 27 is going to be $112,421,878. You can see the breakdown of that when it comes to general fund, the proprietary fund, and the special funds. A couple of things that I could point out is if you're looking at the citizens budget pamphlet, we have some in the foyer if you didn't grab one. We just kind of break down some of our capital outlay initiatives for the year. With public safety, we have $3.3 million worth of capital outlay. I think Steve is going to try to put up the pamphlet on the big screen for me. For recreation, we have $1.4 million. For utilities, we have $10.3 million, and for physical environment, we have $4.7 million. This upcoming year, we'll have a lot of grant-related projects that'll be going on within the city. I think that was one of the biggest things that we looked at this year was identifying match dollars for those particular projects and making sure that we had sufficient funding for that. Our match dollars are about $1.2 million, but of course, the investment in our infrastructure is well beyond that. It may be well beyond $20 million is what we'll see come in with the grant dollars. So I think that was like one of our biggest things this year is balancing the budget as we identify those grant match dollars. Another thing that we looked at, of course, we're going into our second phase of our water treatment plant, so that was one of the larger items that was included. And then also, just with the fire station, identifying the additional funding needed there. So that was another item that took a lot of our attention. You can see the operating costs for the general fund there. You can see the breakdown, the percentage to total for each of our departments. Of course, fire and police takes the bulk of it when we're looking at the general fund, and then indirect expenses comes in that group as well. We did take a look at fire and police and their tax funds, so we tried to address some of their needs with those additional dollars that we see from their tax funds. So that was another conversation that was had during our processes. We meet with each department head, and they kind of give us their list of items that they're needing for the upcoming year, and we try our best to address those needs. On the other side, on the left side of that, you'll see where the general fund revenue will be coming from this year. Of course, one of the leaders in that is going to be our sales tax. 34% of our revenue comes or will be coming from our sales tax, and then 49% is other funding and transfers. So again, the general fund is budgeted at $23,008,192. For our utility fund, the total budget is $44,433,098. On that, you can go to the other slide. Yeah, so this gives us, that first and second panel will give you some information about the utility fund budget. You can see that, of course, electric revenue will be the top revenue driver at $32 million. Water, $6.4 million. Sewer, $3.5. All other revenues is $2.3 million, and that's our actual revenue budgeted numbers. Utility department's expenses: electric, $23.3 million. Water, $5.4 million. Sewer, $2.6 million. And all others range at about $12 million, and that includes IT, utility service center, and utility administration. So the total budget, again, for our utility department is $44.4 million. Special funds, that's going to be all of our grant projects that will be coming through this year, and that's also any of our capital projects that will be coming through in the upcoming year, and that's at $44.9 million. Again, one of the biggest of that is going to be your fire station, as well as your grant match dollars and the phase 2 of your water treatment plant. So those were the big ticket items there. Of course, we budget for some other infrastructure needs. As I stated before, about $10.3 million in total for utilities is what the capital investment for the upcoming year. So that'll take up a good chunk of that. But again, the pamphlet is there just to kind of consolidate the information. Council, you have a digital copy as well as a paper copy. We will be setting up meetings to answer any questions that you may have prior to our public hearing. Public hearing will be at the next council meeting starting at 4:30. Thank you, Ms. Stacy. Starting at 4:30 at our next council meeting, and that'll allow the public to come and ask any questions that you may have regarding the budget. It's a large document, so if you have some very specific questions, I don't mind you reaching out, asking any questions that you may have.
So I think you send what you send electronically. They have the physical copy of the binder today, and then the little citizens budget as well.
Yes.
That we just like to provide to give you, like she said, the overview. It kind of breaks a lot of things down so you can see the numbers. But then also, council, we're working to establish some face-to-face meetings if that's what we need and have any questions. So there may not be any questions tonight per se, but if there are some that develop throughout that time, and like I said, you should see an email or so from Clarissa about a meeting time, or just, maybe you just give them some time that they can come, or however we decide to do that, but just want to make sure y'all have the time y'all need and the questions that you want to ask. Okay? All righty. And again, that's just for introduction, so like Clarissa said, excuse me, at the next meeting, citizens and others will be able to ask those questions, make those comments, all right? Okay, so we're going to end the meeting with 3 resolutions. This first resolution is centered on the Natchitoches Regional Airport and is read by Councilman Harrington.
This is Resolution 21 of 2026, a resolution of the City of Natchitoches authorizing Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr. to execute any and all agreements and documents with the Louisiana Department of Transportation Development, Office of Multimodal Commerce on pertaining to the Natchitoches Regional Airport. I move to adopt Resolution 21 of 2026.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded to adopt resolution number 21 in agreement with the Louisiana Department of Transportation. Ed, are there some other details you can share?
Yeah, this is something the LADOTD Aviation Division is doing to simplify paperwork, minimize paperwork on their end. And they've asked every airport in the state of Louisiana to do this. And so it's one resolution to authorize the mayor to sign resolutions and paperwork for them for a full year. But what it doesn't avoid us coming to, to city council for a bid for a project or anything like that. That still has to come to city council meeting. But this is all done at the request of the DOTD so that they're not repeatedly sending out resolutions to different airports all over the state. It's just a simplification thing for them.
Any questions, y'all? All right, comments or questions, anybody? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Petey.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. All right, next resolution read by Councilwoman Washington Eli.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 022 of 2026, a resolution authorizing the mayors to execute change order number 1, the contract between the City of Natchitoches and David Lauder Construction LLC for the South Williams Waterline projects. Whereas the City of Natchitoches City awarded the bid to David Lauder Construction LLC, contractor June 23, 2026, by ordinance number 19 of 2021 in the amount of $837,860 for the South Williams Waterline Project bid number 067. And whereas March the 24th of 2026, the contract issued change order number 1, fully described as attached A. Whereas the contracts was summed with decrease by change order number 1 in amount of $2,010, and the revised contract will be $835,851. And whereas the city's opinion for change order number 1 is the best interest of the city, I move to adopt resolution number 022 of 2026.
May I say before we adopt that, that contract is on June 23rd, 2025, it should be. It's got June 23rd, 2026, and we're not into.
Yeah,
Just,
Okay.
so yeah, let the record
Let the
reflect
record-
Let the
2025
record-
instead of 2026,
Yes.
when the
Okay.
bid was awarded.
Let the record reflect that the date would be June 23, 2025, by the ordinance number 019 of 2021 in those amounts.
Mhm.
And I move to adopt resolution number 022, 2026.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded to adopt. As you see, it says a decrease there. Tim, is there a particular reason?
Yeah, it's a decrease of 2010 because of, we went from a DR7 to a DR11 pipe, which is a thinner pipe, and it's used more in municipal settings. DR7 is used in like factories and high-pressure gas situations. You don't need it. DR11 is a municipal standard. It's a more common pipe. DR7 is a special order item, and the DR11 is a cheaper pipe.
Okay. Any comments or questions? All righty. Seeing now, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
E.T.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. All right, next, we've got resolution number 23 of 2026, and is read by Councilman P.T.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 023 of 2026, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute change order number 2 to the contract between the City of Natchitoches and David Lawler Construction for the South Williams Waterline Project. Whereas the City of Natchitoches awarded the bid to David Lawler Construction on June 23rd of 2025 by ordinance number 019 of 2021 in the amount of $837,860 for the South Williams Waterline Project. Whereas on April 7th of 2026, the contractor issued change order number 2, fully described in attachment A, whereas the contract sum will increase by the change order number 2 in the amount of $64,728, and the revised contract total will be $900,579. May I also move to adopt resolution number 023.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Council, I think I shared with you some information from the engineer last week after the agenda went out that, and I'm going to just read a portion of it. Well, it's a small email, short email, I should say. Change order number 2 proposes to install new 6-inch PVC water main down Royal Street. So basically to add Royal Street from South Williams to Highway 1 and remove the existing galvanized. I think we got some images up there. Galvanized 2-inch water main, so it's going to be different type of material, different type of pipe, and also going to be thicker, or I should say wider. This was not originally part of the scope of the project, but due to good pricing from the contractor, the city's desire to have a new line installed, and the project being under budget, it is recommended to move forward with the addition to the scope of work. So that's what that was. Tim, anything to add to that?
No, like you said, it is. The project was already under budgets. The original budget was around $980,000. We're well below that. This is adding $64,000 to it. It also adds in an 8-inch DR11 HDPE pipe underneath Williams Avenue, and a fire hydrant down toward the Highway 1 South that we provided to keep the costs down on this project. We have provided a lot of parts to this project to keep costs down, so we're well below budget.
And I mentioned, Council, although this is not on the agenda, there may be something separately with some grass that's native to this area that we have to kind of think about. But I don't think that's going to be as large as 64,000. We're not thinking that, huh, Tim?
No, we're thinking somewhere around 24.
Okay. Yeah, and just as you're digging up and you see digging up into people's yards, you got to put it back, so that's kind of what that want to be for.
And the reasoning behind that is this area has a lot of St. Augustine, and St. Augustine grass does not produce viable seed, so you can't just seed and broadcast. It has to be sodded. There's no other choice but to sod.
But that's one you'll see, but
That's
I
right.
think I referenced it in the email. But this one is dealing with that PVC pipe to add this 64,000. Any comments or questions?
I have a question. You know, we got a decrease. This is the same project, right? And the $2,000. And then the increase of the 64, that was the same project, correct, Tim?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Same project.
Same project. Okay, just want to understand, okay.
Any other comments or questions? All right. Seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Our next scheduled meeting, excuse me, is going to be on the 27th of this month in just a couple weeks. We have to go Natchitoches. We have regroup that people can sign up for. We'll kind of try to do some initiatives beyond announcing those here, announce them in other ways that people may look at social media and things like that. But I think those are two good apps to download. This Work Natchitoches Summit is back. It was here last year. They like to call it Not Your Mama's Job Fair. And this is taking place on next Wednesday. It's going to be at the NSU Freedmen Student Union Ballroom. All right, so just an opportunity for people who are seeking employment or will soon seek employment. They may be in high school or trade school or college to kind of, you know, make contact with some local employers. So I think it's a good program, good event for us to have here in the city. And put on by the chamber, of course. All right, we've got the Mayor's Health and Fitness Council, also with the wonderful ladies of Zeta Phi Beta, and that they had this scheduled previously, but I think weather got in the way, and so it's been rescheduled to the 18th, which is going to be this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So join us there. Again, it's free, put on by the Mayor's Health and Fitness Council, and I see Ms. Sharon back there. She does a really good job with certain events and things like that. So I know there was coordination through Ms. Sharon. All right. You've got the 52nd annual Melrose Arts and Crafts Festival, April 18th, 19th. So that's this weekend on the Cane. Shop and sip for a cause. And they have the times there from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So again, if you're into the crafts and other kind of things that you can get, that'll be worth your time. Summer Splash, this is what we do to try to let parents know, let youth know what's going on in the city during the summer. Our Parks and Rec folks, they're a big part of that, but some others as well. You know, what's happening in the city. Looking for fun activities to keep your child active, entertained during the upcoming summer months. So again, that's going to be Tuesday the 28th, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. All right? All right, Love the Boot Week. We referenced this earlier during the Earth Day proclamation. It's going to be, community cleanup is April the 24th, so that's a Friday. Yeah, that's a Friday. Next Friday. Meet us at the Natchitoches Riverbank stage at noon. And again, in celebration of America's 250th, they're having a thing, pick up 250 pieces of litter, so forth, so on. So again, we've been participating with Love the Boot Week, and there'll be pictures and things like that, so really important to do. Cane River National Heritage Area, which is one of the great community partners in the city, and we certainly want to, you know, be grateful that we have them here. But Timber Ridge used to be Dark Woods. Timber Ridge Adventure Park, from 5:30 to 8 p.m. there is a what you would say, I guess, a fundraiser, right? For I mean, the Cane River National Heritage Area wants to build a discovery center here in the city. So I think it's a great concept, and I think this is an event to help to go toward that goal. So we would certainly encourage people to sponsor, to go and participate. Even if you don't sponsor per se, go and participate and have some fun and raise some money for a really good cause. All right, that's the end of those announcements. Farmers Market, when is that getting started?
The 25th, April 25th.
All right, April 25th. So, all right, so we will All right, so that's a
And next Saturday?
Saturday before we meet again. So April 25th from 8 to 12. Any theme you got? No theme? Oh, for the 25th? Okay, it's all good, but we know it's gonna be great. April 25th, y'all, so we'll get some social media and things like that out about Farmers Market, okay? We're coming back again with it. All right, anything else, Council? Okey dokey, seeing nothing else at this time, we will hear a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
All right, motion is made in second, all in favor? All right. Meeting is adjourned, have a great night, folks.